dolls, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new here, then welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video as well, and make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you can be notified of when I post my next video. I am looking forward to using this channel to record my entire BBL journey and also like post-op life, as well as different lifestyle things and vlogs around Los Angeles. So if that's something that interests you, then go ahead and subscribe and become a part of the clan so that we can have a good time. The purpose of this video though is to give you guys a little bit of background on me, who I am, what procedure I'm getting, and all of that stuff. I will have all of the timestamps listed below, so just in case you want to come back and check out a specific part of this video, you'll be able to do that with the timestamps below. All right, let's get into it. First things first, who am I? I am Jay Chantel, and I am actually a Christian life coach for single women, and I just wrote my first book, so I'm an author as well. And it's about how to finally win in your single season and how to finally win in dating. Speaking of, I am off the market. I am married to my amazing college sweetheart, and life is pretty good around here. So I decided to get a Brazilian butt lift about a year ago because I kept trying and trying to get rid of my hip dips, but they would not budge. Like literally, stomach fat is the enemy. Every time I would work out, I would feel myself kind of losing the stomach fat, but you know, working out is not going to change the way that your body stores fat. So I had to choose one or the other. Either I wanted to have a little bit of stomach and a butt, or no stomach and no butt.
Walk out the door, you see someone that you know, and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and have this surgery so that I can just have the both of best worlds. Like, why I gotta choose? I don't want to choose. So I decided to go with Dr.Jung. He is located in Houston, Texas. He has his own medical office, and I just love everything about this surgeon and his practice. And I think that that's one of the most important things that we have to do when it comes to our research, is find a doctor that we literally fall in love with their results, also their process of how they actually handle their patients from start to finish, and the, you know, reviews that you're getting from dolls that have actually worked with this doctor before. All of that stuff is important. So when I made my decision, I made a very all-encompassing decision because I'm a perfectionist. I'm a Virgo. Like, I like to know who, what, when, where, why. I like to know every single thing. So for me to find a doctor that I'm 100% satisfied with is a big deal. Okay, so let me try to kind of get into why I chose Dr. Jung. Now, as a disclaimer, the things that I'm about to tell you are the reasons why I feel comfortable going to this doctor. It's the reason why I feel comfortable paying the price. It is not meant to persuade you. It's not meant to convince you. It's not meant to make you change your mind or choose my doctor. I'm not doing the research for you. It's literally meant for entertainment and informative purposes only. The first reason why I chose Dr. Jung is because I feel like his results are so consistent. When it comes to Brazilian butt lifts, and I'm no expert by any means, but what I found in my research with Brazilian butt lifts is that most doctors don't have a specialty look. They just either produce girls that some have lats, some have hips, and it's just like you wouldn't be able to tell that it's his work. Like, they don't really have a signature look, if that makes sense, when I was doing my research. Or maybe they did have a signature look, but it was not the look that I was going for. But when I found Dr. Jung, I'm like, wow, his results, they look like your body, but better. Like, it's not like that real natural where you can't tell you had surgery done. Not that type of natural, but natural in the sense that you'll have to wonder, like, was this done in the gym? Or did she get surgery? I love that. I don't want everybody to be like, oh, I know she got surgery, because sometimes, honestly, I don't want to offend anybody. There are some people who get their surgeries done in certain areas in the United States where you can tell, like, you got your surgery done in X place, right?
This is fine.
So I didn't want that to be the case for my surgery. So that's why I went with Dr. Jung. Another reason why I chose Dr. Jung is because of his hidden entryways. That is such a rare skill in the United States. Like, I have never ran across a doctor that doesn't cost at least $10,000 that does hidden entryways. And there are some doctors that charge well above $10,000 and they're still not hiding the entryways. What do I mean by that? There are certain entry points where the doctor puts the canala, and I think it's called a canala. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. It's just, correct me if I'm wrong. Where they insert it to go ahead and suck out all of the fat and stuff like that. Some people get those places like right there on the hips. Like when you look at, I'll insert a picture where you can see them clearly. And I just didn't want that. Some people don't care about that type of stuff, but like I said, I'm a Virgo. I pay attention to details. So I actually know that I wouldn't feel comfortable seeing that on my body. Like, I just wouldn't. So, and I wouldn't want to get no tattoos to cover it or nothing like that. When I saw that Dr. Jung did that, and I literally had to ask myself, like, where is her incisions? Like, if I have to ask myself, where is your incisions, girl, that is good. Like, I want to be able to wear a thong on the beach and not be able to, like, not have to worry about if people can see my incisions for my surgery or whatever. So I love the fact that he takes the time to do hidden entryways. And yes, it's more work, but I'm telling you, it always looks so much more natural. And I love that. The third reason why I chose Dr. Jung is because he only does 2 to 3 surgeries a day. That is very, very important to me because there are doctors in said places. I'm not going to say where, because you guys all, if you're watching this video, then 9 times out of 10, you either thinking about getting surgery, you're in the midst of researching surgeons, or you are just nosy and you just want to watch YouTube videos. Either way, you know what I'm talking about. There are certain places in the United States where surgeons do 10 to 12 surgeries a day.
Oh, hold on.
And that is crazy. Why is that crazy? It's crazy because these BBL surgeries, LIPO 360, these are real surgeries. Like, this is not just some type of minute clinic where you go in there, you lay down and you get up. Like this, if you've watched post-op videos, you see how serious of a surgery this is.
Oh, come on. Yeah, she's dizzy. Come on, mommy. Come on, lady. Open.
And while it's a fairly simple surgery, it is still a major surgery nonetheless. So for a surgeon to do 10 to 12 surgeries a day, that means that he is cutting shortcuts somewhere. And either it's on the client's half that he's cutting shortcuts, or it's on his half. But I don't want nobody half doing me. If I'm laying down on that surgery bed, I need to know that you are taking your time. You are making sure that you get every single ounce of fat that you can get out of me. I don't want you rushing. I don't want you doing none of that stuff. I want you fatigued. None of that. So when I found out that Dr. Jung only does 2 or 3 a day, I was like, wow, he really takes his time with his clients. Like, he does what he needs to do. And I think that that is why his results are so spot on. Like, I just love that. Dr. Jung has not had any deaths at his facility, which is another huge thing. Some dolls feel comfortable going to doctors who have had bodies. I personally don't, nor does my husband. So I wanted to make sure that I was going to a doctor who, you know, really cared about their patients and cared about their aftercare, as well as making sure that they're not doing the small malpractice things that lead to infections and deaths. Now, Dr. Jung has had, I want to say 2 or 3 infections, but based on the conversations that I've had with dolls that have had infections, it was not due to like any like medical negligence or the facility not being clean. It's a whole nother story, but it seemed as if it wasn't his fault is what I'm trying to say, which is important. And I'm the type of person where I'm not afraid to hear bad things about doctors. Like, I'm grown, I can form my own opinion, you know, I'm able to kind of decipher between what is and what isn't. So I want to hear the bad, I want to hear the good, I want to hear everything. I don't want to just live in this fairy tale world where I think that my doctor can't do anything wrong. Like, I want to hear about what your interactions were with him. How was it the day of surgery? How was it the day of surgery? After surgery, you know, how hard is it to get in contact with him? And honestly, every time I ask these hard questions, I always get so much positive feedback from dolls. And another reason why I chose Dr. Jung is because his facility is in the United States. I did not want to go out of the country. I know some people don't have a problem doing that, more power to you, but for me, I just felt like, you know, I'd rather just be home. I actually wanted to be in Beverly Hills if I could, but I couldn't. So I said, okay, Houston is not that far. It's not a very far plane ride. It's about 3 hours and 30 minutes, which is not terrible. I would prefer none, but you know, you gotta sacrifice somewhere. So I'm glad that he is in the United States. That means that more than likely he's following the guidelines of the United States. And yeah, I just wanted a doctor that wasn't too far away from me. Just in case anything ever happened, I needed to get back there. The other thing that I loved about Dr. Jung is that he's very honest about his expectations. Dr. Jung has very clear requirements on the type of patients that he accepts. And he's upfront and he's honest about that. People can get mad, they can throw a fit, but at the end of the day, I'd rather go with a doctor who knows what they can and can't do than go to a doctor that doesn't want to tell people no and are producing mediocre results. Like, that I think is very important. Like, I love the fact that Dr. Jung has standards and he knows what he just can and can't do. Like, you can't be mad at that. I'd rather somebody tell me up front, nah sis, you need to go lose a couple more pounds than to say, you know, than to take my money and then I'm like, okay, I need a round two. Like, and so I love that Dr. Jung is very open, and he's even open about the dolls who have had round twos to achieve certain results so that you don't get your expectations up thinking that you about to leave with this big old booty and they done had 3 rounds. Like, I love that he's open and honest about that. I love that Dr. Jung educates his patients. Like, he educates them on the importance of aftercare. Like, he is very, 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 very big on aftercare. He's just like, if you can't afford aftercare, just don't get the surgery. And that is so important. That's something that you really have to know, and you need to hear that, because you'll spend thousands of dollars on this surgery but not realize that you need another thousands of dollars in order to have sustainable results with your aftercare. So he's very honest with that. He's very honest about his expectations, the results that you'll get. He's very honest about that as well, which, you know, is great. I love that. I love that about him. The last thing that I want to talk about me, why I chose him, was that I had peace. I think that that's something that is often overlooked in surgery. I think a lot of people settle with that, and I think people go into this researching based on price. When I was also doing that myself, I just want to add that, but when I started researching based on, like, what do I want my end goal to be, I had to budge in a lot of areas, and that was in location and also in price. So the total price for my procedure, a Brazilian butt lift, including surgical fees and anesthesia, is $17,000. Now, before you go typing in my comments telling me he is too expensive and you could never, just don't. It's really okay. I know that not everybody's gonna feel comfortable paying that price. And honestly, I think that more people could pay that price if they were willing to sacrifice how soon they would get the surgery done. Maybe not. Maybe it's just completely out of the question altogether. I don't know. It really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, there probably is a surgeon for you that can meet your requirements, that could also meet your budget as well. And whatever works for you, and whatever works for me, works for me. I'm paying $17,000, and that's okay with me. I actually feel very comfortable with that price because I know what I'm getting, and I'm willing to pay for top-notch stuff. Like, I just am. So yeah, that's where we are in terms of price. And like I said, I have so much peace with Dr. Jung. As a perfectionist, as a Virgo, as a control freak, I want to know that when I lay down on this table, I am in good hands. And if you have peace about, you know, your surgeon, that matters a lot. And trust your gut, because you're not crazy. So I think I covered everything I needed to cover for this first video. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below in the comments. Otherwise, stay put, because my next video is coming right up.